Well, good morning. How are you all today? I want to talk about preparing for the what I think is going to be coming violence here in just the next few days. No doubt you have been keeping track of what's going on in the country. We're a few days out from the election. They're boarding up all the stores and the post office in Washington, D.C. Probably a good idea. They know what's coming. I put a prediction video up over on the Patreon channel. If those of you who are on Patreon, make sure you leave your prediction. I gave my prediction of what's going to happen in the next few days and over the coming months. And this is kind of a spin off of that. So make sure you leave your predictions. We'll have a good time talking about them. And we have some super smart people on Patreon. And for those of you who aren't yet with us on Patreon, I'd encourage you, come join us. It's only $1 or $5, whatever you want to do, on that channel. We just have some super smart people over there, and people who help each other and talk to each other and support each other. A lot of people, a very broad knowledge base that I learn from too. So we'd love to have you if you're a nice person. If you're a troll, you belong in YouTube. But do that. I also put one up over there about don't let negative people hold you back, and that is so important. Uh, but violence is coming. Oh, one more thing. I should say this for those of you who have been wanting to order my books from me. I want to give you a warning. Now I just got a new load in, and that's the Stonemont series with the reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, hostages to fortune. The new one on wings like eagles. They have been selling out so fast. I just got an order in, but all of those are going to to fill all the orders that have been backlogged. So I do want to warn you, if you want to order from me directly, and I love when you do that because then I get to sign them for you and put a little note in there for you. Anything like that. But there is a backlog, and you'll be waiting a few weeks if you get them, if you order them from me. Like I say, I love it when you do it. Because I love my relationship with my readers just like I do with my viewers. But please be aware it can take several weeks for you to get them. Okay. And I keep ordering more. Well, Steve, why don't you order more? Oh, by the way, we have a special deal. If you order the whole set, we throw in the Stonemont notebook. We ran out of those too last time. I'm still catching up on people that we owe those to. But we do it because we do the right thing. Yeah, I try to order more, and everybody keeps ordering more, and we'll do our best. Okay. You'll get them, but you won't get them quick. Like if you want them quick, get them through Amazon, and both those links are down below. Okay. Now, violence. Violence is a result of the coming elections. I believe that it's coming. I believe, and I'll give away a little bit of my predictions that I put up over on the Patreon channel. I won't give all of my predictions. I predict a Trump win, but I predict shenanigans as the last couple of times, and it's going to cause the left to go insane. I believe that's what's going to happen. Now, have I ever been wrong in my life? A couple of times, but that's what I think is going to happen. You need to be prepared for it. And where many times I don't usually talk in detail about things. I usually give you kind of the overview. You need to be thinking about it. I'm not one for a bunch of lists, right? Because you can get that anywhere. But more like mindset and be ready and understand. But today I'm going to give you a few things. You need to be ready for violence wherever you are. Home, traveling, office, wherever you are. Okay. So when you're in your home, I would suggest, and it depends on where you live, those of you who live rurally or more in small towns, you're not going to have to worry about these things, quite as much unless you come to town for, work or doctor's appointments or whatever. If you do, then you need to pay attention to a couple things I'll say in a minute. In your home, make sure that your home can be secured. Okay. Good locks, doors, windows. I would suggest if you live in the city, have some plywood to cover up your windows, have some blankets to cover up your windows, Make sure that you have your security system going, your alarms, cameras, all of those things, your other security devices, your boom booms. Be ready. Have one at hand all the time. I am never farther than arm's length away from any of my defensive tools, and I haven't been for 50 years now. It's just a way of life, and some people are kind of uncomfortable with it when they first get started, but when it becomes a part of your daily life, it's not a deal, right? So make sure increase your the first thing is increase your security posture up here. Okay, realize anything can happen to anyone at any time, anywhere. Simple as that. Uh, so make sure that your home is secure. Make sure that you have enough of everything you need that you don't really have to leave the house for a period of time. I suggest a minimum of 6 months. Now, some people will say a month, 2 months, 3 months, and my long term is always 7 years. But as far as not having to leave the house, as much as you can get. Let me just put it that way, because you may not want to. It can be dangerous. We don't know what kind of trouble is potentially coming. I think in yesterday's, I said that we could see civil unrest to the extent that makes the Summer of Love seem like a church camp, and I think that really could be the way, because the communists we're 100 years into the communist revolution here in the United States. They think they're so close, and if they get stopped at this point or even paused, they're just going to go berserk. So you don't know, okay? So you want to be safe. In your home, again, have everything that you need that you won't have to leave if you choose for 6 months. It'd be a good time to catch up on your Bible reading or your Netflix or getting to know your kids, right? Or playing board games. I said that for my wife. I'm not a big board game guy. I can't stand board games, except for one. There's a game, it's a preparedness game out there, and it's not the ones that you've heard about. It's called the Good Game, Get Out of Dodge. I've been meaning to do a video on that for years, ever since I got it, and I haven't. Maybe I will. Catch up on things. Don't leave the house if it's dangerous. Okay, are your smoke alarms, are your batteries renewed? Replaced? Do you have fire extinguishers? Do you have a dog? That's always good to give you a warning of who's slinking around your place, or one that will actually participate in the defense of your place. That's always better. So make sure that your home is secure. Make sure that your communications within your family is good. Keep each other apprised of where you are, where you're going, how are you going to get from where you are to where you're going, how long you anticipate it to take. Okay, let people know. That's so important. Communication is, you get crosswise of something. You want people to know where you are and who you are. Keep your communications devices, your cell phone. Most of us don't walk around with walkie-talkies, right? But we have the greatest communication device that I'm speaking into right now. We have our cell phones. How often do I hear people say, "Oh, my battery's low. Oh, my battery's low." Keep your batteries topped off. Keep a charger in your vehicle. Keep another charger at your office. Okay? Keep those charged and ready to go, both for communications, but also if you need to take video of a situation. Okay. Again, like I say, have your fire extinguishers ready. Your communications with your people, keep your team tight. Okay. Now, your office. If you work away from home, do the same thing for your office. Make sure that it's as secure as you can make it. Now, you don't have control over your office as much as you do your home, but have everything there. Have a week's worth of food in your office. Have a week's worth of water. What if the water is shut off? What if, for whatever reason, you all of a sudden hear, "Hey, there's they have poisoned the water supply of your town or your city." Okay, well, you'd prefer not to drink out of the toilet tank, right? And if you're at work, it's a whole different situation. But have your food and water there. Have your defensive tools there. keeping your tanks topped off all the time. All the time. The last thing that you should do every day is stop by on your way home, stop by the gas station, top off your tank. If you don't let it get too low, it shouldn't take you that long. Top off your tanks. Keep extra fuel at home. Keep extra propane at home. Okay. At the office, like I said, have all the food and water that you would need for at least a week and your defensive items. Traveling back and forth, understand and review your routes. I remember during the riots in 1968, my mother worked down in what was called Midtown in Kansas City. It wasn't down in the hood, but the flashpoints came out quite a bit from the hood. And, she made arrangements with her work that she was going to leave a little bit early every day because they started to starting to get wound up about mid-afternoon, and she didn't want to take a chance of getting caught in it. Think about that. You know your city. I don't know where you live, but you know. So what are your routes between your work and your home? And you'll want to have some alternate routes, and you'll want to know those routes. The last thing you want is to get in your car, be driving home, and all of a sudden, oh, wow, here is a big riot in front of me of unhappy communists, and you've got to take another way. But you don't know what other way to take, right? Because you don't know that area that well or whatever, and you take the wrong turn, and all of a sudden you find yourself in an area that's worse than what you were trying to get away from. You don't want that. Study that. Study your alternate routes. Have as many alternate routes as make sense to you, and sometimes that can mean, for instance, if you, well, I won't use that because it could apply to many instances. Sometimes that will mean initially going away in an opposite direction of your home to make a big circle around. Better you arrive home late and safe than not arrive home or have to call your family to meet you at the hospital or worse. Okay. In your car, make sure, like I said, keep everything topped off. Have your self-defense items in there. Make sure that you have a jack and a spare tire. Know how to do it. And I won't say even you ladies. I think most ladies. My wife is fully capable. I think most of you are. Make sure you know and are able to change a tire. I do say this because in the years that I worked over at the hospital in the security department, I couldn't believe how many young men. By that I mean in their 30s, I had to show them how to change a tire. I'd get a call. Oh, we have a flat tire. We're out in lot such and such. Do you all change tires? And I'd go, gee, not really. I mean, do you have a spare? Well, I think so. Do you have a jack? I don't know. And I'd go out there, and there'd be some guy standing next to his $60,000 Beamer. Didn't know how to change his tire. Very often, I would change it. Here's what I would do. I tell you, if they were alone, I would instruct them on what to do. I'd say, nobody ever taught you how to change a tire. You think that your phone is how you change a tire to call somebody to do it? So I would instruct them on how to do it. If they were with other people, I added some punishment to that. I know this may not have been, but whatever. And if say a girlfriend, a wife, another couple, very often it was like other people. And I would say, and so I would do it for them. I'd add a little shame to it. And I'd say, nobody ever taught you how to change a tire? And no. And I said, well, get the tire out and bring it up here. And then as I changed their tire for them, showing that another man had to do what they should have been able to do, I did it slowly. I instructed them in nauseating detail while they did that, while their girlfriend or wife or whatever had to watch their humiliation. Some things just deserve a little humiliation. It needs to be brought up because that might have, because I know that had I just done it without them, they would have left with this idea that, oh, other people should do it for me. And I didn't really want to humiliate them in front of other people if they weren't able to do it by me making them do it. My purpose was only semi-humiliation, because in case they couldn't have done it, I didn't want that. I didn't want the jack falling on them, and Anyway, um, know how to change a tire. That was just a funny story that's me and some of the other guys reminisce about jokingly sometimes. Know how to change a tire. Have your jumper cables. Make sure that all your fluids are topped off. Go to your mechanic and have them check your belts. Hey, everything look good in this car? Everything ready to go? Are my brakes all right? Are they starting to squeal? Get them checked. You want that. That car is your fortress. Okay? It is your escape and your fortress if you get caught in the wrong place. Also in your car, carry some blankets. The reason for that is if you get caught in the middle of a riot, get that blanket up around you so that when they start busting out your windows, you're not having flying glass coming in at you. Okay, I know the safety glass today is different than the rest, but it's good to have something over you like that. Have a fire extinguisher in your car, and during these times, I would suggest you have it inside the passenger compartment, not in the trunk, in the passenger compartment. Like I said, know your routes, stay in communication, be able to defend yourself, be able to get away, and at the very base of all this is having the mindset. Most situations, I've said this before, whether it's in a fight, an attack, or whatever, they may happen suddenly, but they rarely happen without warning. And people who think these things happen without warning is most of the time because they missed the clues. Okay, they missed the warnings, and now they think all of a sudden everything happened. So stay attuned to that. Also, I teach, whether it's in martial arts or fighting or whatever, that most emergencies, like most fights, the person who is inexperienced will be dealing with three enemies. The first is confusion, the second is fear, and the third is the enemy, the attacker, or the situation itself. And most people who aren't experienced or didn't think far ahead, they're caught up in the confusion and the fear or the anxiety, and that makes it more difficult for them to respond to a true emergency situation. So play out these things in your mind. If this happened, here's what I'd do. If that happened, that's what I'd do, and it'll make it a little bit easier. And because if you don't have to fight confusion and fear, that last enemy of the attacker or the situation is a lot easier to deal with. So I believe that we are coming up on very possible some real violence. I think it could be prolonged, because I think that this thing is going to be prolonged. I think this is the, I won't say it's the match that's just going to light the fuse. This election, it's already been lit. But this is the accelerant for all of those of you bomb and arson investigators out there. This is the accelerant, and once it catches, it can go, and it's just like a structure fire. If it gets to going past a certain point, it's very difficult to put out. It just a lot of times going to have to burn itself out. So anyway, keep those things in mind. Get ready. Now is the time to get ready. Don't even wait until you see what happens on election day. Get ready. You'll never regret being ready for something that doesn't happen. Okay? But you will regret not being ready for something that does. Right? Okay. All right. Just a reminder, if you want to order my books through me, be willing to wait for a few weeks. All these are going out to people whose orders have been waiting for several weeks. So these are going out. You will love them. If you're not familiar with the Stone Moss series, people say that it has changed the way that they think about preparing. And I say it is the complete plan for preparing for, surviving, and rebuilding after a total collapse of everything. Either get them through Amazon if you want them quick, that link's down below, or you can get them from me if you're willing to wait a few weeks, and that link's down below. That's on the through the Stonemont website. That's where you get that, and our mugs and everything like that. And I love doing that. Just be willing to wait. And join us on the Patreon channel if you'd like. But realize also, if you come on to Patreon, it is a channel for nice, polite people. I don't allow any trolls. I don't allow arguing. I don't allow any of that. That's why the people over there like it. And as so many have said, boy, this is the best. I just had someone yesterday said this is the best community I've ever found, and I agree with them. I agree. So think about what I said. Get ready. Stay safe. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.